Watch the Mysteries of Existence channel for divine enlightenment. To know more about yourself, the physical and subtle aspects of the universe, and the source of all that is.
This is a message brought to you by the Harbinger of the Last Covenant, His Grace, Ike Nathan Uzorma, author, Archbishop, University Chancellor, Scholar in Extraterrestrial Research, Professor of Christian Education at St. Thomas a Becket University, England, recipient of Nelson Mandela Excellent Leadership Award in Africa. Former living Grand Master in the Order of Terrestrial and Astral Hierarchy, amongst others.
Shego, you are once again here with me.
Yes, Daddy.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
In the name of the Eternal. And I pray that this interaction will benefit someone somewhere.
Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir.
All right, so over to you.
Yes, sir. Daddy, I want to also thank you for your time. Because, Daddy, I know that today you wanted to rest, but we still had to pull you back again because there are several questions we needed to ask you. And a lot of audience on the comment section, they also had, or rather, they have questions that we also like to we also like you to answer, sir, by God's grace.
All right.
Sir, you've always made mention of extraterrestrial intelligences, sir. I wanted to know, and I'm sure a lot of our audience all over the world also want to know, if extraterrestrial intelligences are related to UFOs, unidentified flying objects, and the beings that seem to be associated with unidentified flying objects. That's how you could, I don't know, sir, if you've been following up on the news, but of course, I will have to follow up on everything as a media team. I think recently in California, a very large UFO came, I can't really remember what city it actually came, and some beings dropped from that particular unidentified flying objects. And going through the internet and seeing what a lot of a lot of Christian fora, they've all been saying that probably these are beings that are meant to bring about some kind of apocalypse, sir. So I wanted to know your take on that, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Dr. Shego, once again,
thank you, sir.
You are blessed.
Thank you, Daddy. This time.
You use the word probable.
Yes, sir.
That shows some of the extent of the human limitation.
Yes, sir.
Not knowing precisely the mission of such intelligence. But what was the question? Are you saying whether the extraterrestrial intelligences do exist, or what was specifically?
Well, Daddy, I don't doubt that they exist because I think I saw a video on the internet where they descended, though the video is not so clear. I think it was on Fox News or Fox Channel 1 or so. They descended and looking very, very tall, very huge beings. In fact, people were just running helter-skelter. And I think when I further looked into that video, I could see that they even went into some homes. And the people were like very scared because these were, so to speak, not what they are used to seeing, beings that they are not used to seeing, very tall. Some of them are exceeding 7-8 feet. So a lot of people had to, so to speak, sir, run away from their lives. And obviously you could see that they did not really want to harm anybody. My question is, what role have they come to play at this time?
All right, I think the first thing there is has to do with whether extraterrestrial intelligences are associated with the UFO.
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, the word UFO, as you rightly know, is unidentified flying object. And I have been speaking along this line for some time, that generally speaking, there are more than the eyes can see. And so when we talk about extraterrestrial intelligences, it embraces a whole lot of reality. You know, there are extraterrestrial intelligences. Even in the times of old, the reality of such existence was very clear to certain persons. If you understand the format of such kind of existence, one will appreciate the fact that in reality, there are different kinds of extraterrestrial intelligence. However, the word extraterrestrial, must be considered because we are human beings. Within the structures of flesh and blood, that makes us terrestrial. And our planet, based on certain aspects of the evident coerced energy, gross material energy, is a terrestrial planet. I'm talking about within the physical setup of what can be generally known or seen. Because the Earth itself has different units of herself, in herself, that are now extraterrestrial. But looking at the dimension of physical existence, that is purely terrestrial. And so when we talk about extraterrestrial, we are talking about systems of reality, personalities that are outside the framework of our kind of existence. They become extra because they are not bound within the structures of flesh and blood. You see. So, when we talk about whether the UFOs are extraterrestrial, yes. On one hand, we can say yes. On the other hand, we can say that the intelligences, the extraterrestrial intelligences, the UFOs that come into the setup of physical existence, are representations of a particular level of extraterrestrials. In other words, there are different levels of extraterrestrial intelligences. Even if you read the Bible, whether in the Bible, whether in the Quran, whether in the ancient Vedas, and the sacred writings of the world religions, you see, these things were mentioned there in one way or the other. You see? So, there are levels. There are levels of extraterrestrial intelligences that cannot make appearance on Earth. So sometimes we talk about advanced extraterrestrial intelligence. Even those advanced extraterrestrial intelligences are still within the coordination of more advanced extraterrestrial intelligence. And even though that order of reality, which can be called more advanced extraterrestrial intelligence, still have realities beyond them. So, in such terms, the cycle of such reality is somewhat endless. But within the dimension of the intelligences that do come to the Earth, not with equipment, the most advanced extraterrestrial intelligences, they'll be making their presence known to the Earth. But in a manner, because these are holy beings, even though within the order of extraterrestrial intelligences, that's what we may call the agreeables and the opposition, which can be called disagreeables. So these two set of intelligences have been there, even advanced ones. Now, but in a manner of speaking, for instance, let's talk about our solar system. There are advanced intelligences. Some of them have formed units of squads, in light. Some have formed units of squads in darkness. Now, the most advanced ones in light, they still have, I don't know the word to use. Maybe we can use the word their younger ones. We can use the word their, maybe their children. It's not like a university.
Yes, sir.
You have professors. Then let us say that somebody, these professors may be heading dean of faculties and so on and so forth. They may have some lecturers. When you look at the academic and the experience of the professor, you see that the professors are higher than them.
Yes, sir.
Then you just imagine the situation where those professors are beyond that kind of physical setting. They also have the younger ones. You can say their children. You can say their younger ones.
Yes.
I know. Who do not even intrude into the three-dimensional systems of the Earth's reality. But they conduct a lot of things in their planetary systems, outside their planetary systems, in the space, amongst others. So, now these are younger ones now. Have other set of beings that are just undergoing training, like small kids, if we're using our earthly terms. So those ones are the ones that intrude into the three-dimensional systems of flesh and blood with their equipment. I have said it some time ago that this equipment themselves, by the mere fact of entering into the three-dimensional system, vis-a-vis the energy embedded within the gross material world, which includes the Earth, distortions occur. In other words, if this is a realm of advanced extraterrestrial intelligences, I'm talking about our solar system now. And these advanced ones have their younger ones. And these younger ones have a set of neophytes. The neophytes have to grow to reach the order of what we refer to as the younger ones. In the course of the trainings involved, in certain way they can serve as emissaries. In certain way they can, in the course of space probes, intrude into the three-dimensional system of the Earth planet. What we are saying, and what I know, is in the course of such intrusion, distortions occur, even to their equipment. Their equipment itself coming here now to the Earth cannot retain its original status inherent in the dimension, the originating dimension. It's not possible by law, by universal law. So when they intrude to the Earth, they become something else from the original point, and trying to maintain balance within the Earth's ecosystem for human beings to see them. Now, those human beings, they see what they are not in their originating home.
Mm.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
Because the mere fact of this equipment intruding into the physical system, automatically distortions must occur. You see? So, but overall, when we talk about extraterrestrial intelligences, we are talking about diversities inherent within the cycle of extraterrestrials. They are not just one set of beings. There are different set of beings. It's just like saying you go into the water. We say there are fishes in the water, right?
Yes.
And when you go into the water, you see different varieties of it.
Yes.
Some even fight. Some each. You can see a fish pursue another fish to eat.
Yes.
But from our own time, we say there are this. So in such times too, there are different kinds of extraterrestrial intelligences. As a matter of fact, extraterrestrial intelligences, there are different extraterrestrial intelligences that are within the reality of humanoids. So we are now part of them. But we are in the flesh and blood. The garment of flesh and blood brings a particular kind of limitation and presents a particular kind of focus to enable you exist here in the physical world. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And that focus brings about diverse elements of forgetfulness. But even you that is here, wearing this garment of flesh and blood, there are other versions of yourself. And if you continue to trace those versions, at a particular point, some of them, go into the circle of extraterrestrials. You see to that. So a human being here on Earth can also be a camouflage representation of intelligences that are beyond the physical aspect that is generally known. Now, there are 400,000 kinds of humanoids. We on Earth here, whether white, black, colored, or whatever, we just represent one kind, one species. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Of the humanoid. Now, you can imagine in a system of 400,000 kinds, we are just one kind. So, to that extent, when you talk about extraterrestrial intelligences, the subject matter is very vast. And I hope that we will have more time from time to time to be discussing this. I'm sure that will gladden your heart.
It will, sir.
Dr.
And I'm sure it will also gladden the heart of
So now, the intelligences, like I mentioned, the agreeables and the disagreeables, that comes into the system of duality of material existence. Some of these intelligences are just like you. The only thing is that, based on the absorbed energies, you see, they become transcendental. And those of them that are within the dimension of the agreeables, not the disagreeables now, work within the framework of the divine reality. Like when you read the Bible, you heard about the Prince of Persia coming to this thing, holding an angel Gabriel somewhere. That angel is an extraterrestrial intelligence. The Prince of Persia is an extraterrestrial intelligence. But you see, because the angel left his domain and came into a particular domain, so it was now that kind of a thing happened. So if you look at it from the point of the angel and the Prince of Persia, they begin to understand what I mean by the agreeables and the disagreeables. You understand? So there are more sophisticated, advanced extraterrestrial intelligences. Some extraterrestrial intelligences have gotten to the dimension of being full representations of God. That is, they represent God. They can go into any system, even if it has happened in our earth. You see to that. And when they speak on behalf of the Lord of creation. It's just like the president of a country.
Yes, sir.
The president of a country can send, maybe they are trying to open a medical center somewhere, maybe from a big pharmaceutical industry or a big university somewhere. And the president is supposed to be there. He may decide to send the minister of education, like the United States Secretary of Education, to represent him there, but to read his own speech. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, when the minister stands to speak, he will not be speaking as a minister now. He will be speaking as the president. Because if the president's speech says, fellow countrymen, I, your president, I'm glad to be here to commission this project. That is what the minister will read.
Yes.
Then the minister will read it, say, fellow countrymen, I, as your president, I'm here, I'm glad to be here to commission the project. When the minister says it, the wise ones there, I'm using physical chips.
Yes, sir.
Those that understand the protocol, they will know that the minister is reaching the waist of the president. Yes. It's just a representation.
Yes, sir.
The people that I don't know that such a protocol, they will say, "Oh, I saw the president today, or I've seen the president." Now, that man is the president. These things are the basis of the coming of the Holy Scriptures on earth. That's why you see in some places in the Old Testament, you will hear that the Lord spoke.
Yes.
The Lord spoke. The Lord spoke. The Lord spoke. You know. And some of them will say they saw the Lord. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Some of the prophets in different sacred writings. But when the great Lord Jesus the Christ came, who himself is the supreme manifestation of the one eternal, almighty, within the camouflage of flesh and blood, he made it clear. It's made clear in the Bible that no one has seen God at any time. Have you not read it in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if it is written that no one has seen God at any time, but the prophets would claim that they saw God, that means they saw the representations, the bona fide representatives of God. And these bona fide representatives are extraterrestrial intelligences. Some of them highly advanced intelligence. You understand the point?
Yes, sir.
So, you can go ahead.
Well, sir, from what I've learned so far, it is clear that UFOs and the beings that occupy this identified flying objects, they are in two classes. Those, the agreeables, and the ones that are not the agreeable.
The disagreeable.
The disagreeable.
Agreeables and disagreeables that constitute part of life. Even in your household, you will always have the agreeable and the disagreeable.
Yes, sir.
In the society, in the system of governance, I think you are officially many countries that are democratic. They say opposition.
Yes, opposition.
Represents the disagreeable.
Yes.
The government in power represents the agreeable. So it has always been like that. Just that they're going from that minute dimension of the earth world and into a larger reality involving extraterrestrials.
Wow. So, sir, in present times, UFOs and the extraterrestrial intelligences that people have, so to speak, seen and probably documented via video, will we say that they are agreeables or disagreeables?
We cannot generalize all of them to be agreeables, and we cannot generalize all of them to be disagreeable. Okay. It depends on the aim of manifestation. Some of them just come into the planet. Some of them just come. As a matter of fact, some of their coming, it wasn't intent. Some of them come by intending to come. They are planning to come. Some of them just intrude into our system. They have no business with they just find themselves, because of space probe, based on the alterations of energies. When they cross the system and find themselves in the three-dimensional, so such a visit was not wouldn't be intended. Or such visits are not intended. You understand? So such things happen. Some of them have a particular project, which they know that they need some element from the earth. And they come for that purpose. There are different purposes of coming, So now, but when a purpose of coming by certain intelligences is to do something that will cause harm to humans, and there are other intelligences that doesn't want them to do that harm, then you now see the structures of agreeables and disagreeables playing out. You understand?
Yes, sir.
There was a time here on earth that some intelligences came to take certain things from the animals. And a lot of animals died. Even in developed countries. I think they call them the goat suckers. The human being just named them that. But they came and they were taking something from.
Yes.
Sometimes when they strike any animal, whether cow, goat, or this, they create a hole there.
Yes.
And thousands of animals died.
Yes.
Now, their intention of doing that was to collect something from the animals on earth, and utilize it for their own experiment, for their own benefit. That to them now, they're doing the right thing for themselves. But those people that lost the animals, maybe in different farms, you see to that?
Certainly not.
So it's not really their best interest. And those people will look at it that, look, these are, probably you may even call them devils or something, along that line. So what we are saying is that, but now there were other set of intelligences. As a matter of fact, that issue came up in a different dimension of reality. Because those people, those kind of beings, those kind of extraterrestrial intelligence, they wanted to carry out that project and later divert it to humans. But now they were stopped through a particular kind of battle. And that battle was sanctioned by the Interplanetary Parliament, which is like the Supreme Council of extraterrestrial intelligences in our solar system. That council is under dominion of light. You understand?
Yes, sir.
It's under the dominion of light. And then, but that council, because when I mention something like this, somebody may say, oh, we have never heard about council. What has council got to do? Council is in the Bible. When you hear that, and in the book of Job, you say, and when the morning stars rejoice, in praise. It is also written, even in the same book of Job, it was said that, and it came to pass that the Lord and the sons of God, they were in a meeting. You understand?
Yes, sir.
That's a council.
Yes.
Even in the case of Ahab, in the Bible too, it was also a council. That council has been there. Within the manifestation of God, that is another mystery, because that has to do with the manifestation of God in that hierarchy. Because there are multitudinous manifestations of God in diverse hierarchies within the entire universal system. You see to that?
Yes, sir.
So we can call it any name. You see to that? Either hierarchy, you can call it the divine hierarchy of space masters. You can call it interplanetary confederation. Anything you can or leave it according to what the Bible says. The council of God and the sons of God, or rather the council of God and the gods. Anyhow, whatever you want to call it. The important thing is that the names that are called is not the point. It's not the chief point. The chief point is the existence of such a reality. It was in that kind of existence that it was decided that those species of extraterrestrial intelligences coming to the earth forcefully, killing animals, and trying to impoverish people, because when some of these people, humans, that was like their farm.
Yes.
And when most of them lost their animals. So it was they have to stop. When those intelligences also knew, those advanced ones, in the divine hierarchy, or especially of our solar system, they knew that this project and those intelligences were coming from a different dimension outside our solar system. So they were stopped. But that stop is not just by saying stop. A battle was fought, and they were the laboratories and where they were called, those to conduct equipment. It was destroyed, and the point of entrance back to the earth was blocked. You understand? So you can now say that those people you can say they are disagreeables.
Yes.
Because I've used the word agreeables and disagreeables because of
the
effect of what they did. But in their own way, they are fighting for survival in their own terms. It's just like lion and antelope. They're just animals.
Yes.
But from the point of view of the lions, the antelope is a food.
Yes.
So that he agrees, and then he agrees with himself that this is my food. And from the point of view of the antelope, this lion is like a big devil. It's always trying to, pick from me,
yes,
to kill me. So that is how the universe, in certain aspects, is structured along that line. So when you ask about, in the first question, whether this intelligence is coming,
yes, sir,
whether they are going to cause a problem.
Yes, give us issues over in here, in our realm. Yes, sir.
Yes, many of them have already given us issues. You see, there are extraterrestrial intelligences operating in the hierarchy of what we now interpret as darkness because of their activities, like the descent, the invention of atomic bomb has a different project. I think I've been speaking about that. You know, all these hydrogen bombs, it has a different project. You know, now because these are the things worked out in the hierarchy of certain intelligences, which we now can call the astral chambers of this. And they have a different aim. Their aim is to the battle has to do with the soul, what I may call the soul of the earth. You see, now in the course of that, they were able to advance because these are not humans of flesh and blood. These are beings with certain powers at different levels. They were able to establish scientific centers. Whether these centers are approved by the government, you see, there are more than the eyes can see, and human beings are always under one of manipulation or the other. So, but the overall, the final analysis, scientific centers were established on that. You know, and some scientists themselves were given the clue, the basis, the etheric or astral wherewithal to poke into the atoms. That's poking into the atoms and all those kind of things. We are masterminded by intelligence beyond those things. But those intelligence didn't make themselves present, didn't appear with any equipment to say we're now poking into the atom. They walk through what we call mind invasion. And it was done. But they have a different project. So you can look at those ones and say they're disagreeable because their aim is to destroy the Earth planet. They want to destroy the Earth planet. They want to own the Earth and change the configuration of the Earth and use the Earth as a launching pad for greater battles against the agreeable. So this is now the battle between the agreeables and the disagreeables. Or you can say forces of light and forces of darkness. You see, a lot of battle took place along that line to ensure that a lot of battles are also going on along the line of what I'm telling you now. You see that? You see, you can see one of the presidents, I think one particular president was discussing with another president in a recent meeting and was asking that president, he said, do you want to cause atomic, Third World War? Your actions is like you want to cause, it was televised. People will know the ones I'm talking about. So now, but the thing is that these things now, that's why we have to be in light. If we are not in light, if we are not firmly situated in light, other forces will come and take over our world. And for your information, you have a role to play, even in the actions of extraterrestrial intelligences themselves.
Okay, sir. I'm sure our audience would love to know, sir.
Yes. The extraterrestrial intelligences, they work within the frequency of multitudinous energies. So your thought is very, very important. Let me even tell you, your thought is not hidden in a different reality. This your thought, what you think deeply in your mind now,
yes, sir.
Can be transmogrified and received in a different format of reality. The thought of wickedness in your heart, for instance,
yes, sir,
becomes a kind of food to a particular kind of being. Because they have the capacity to split, some of them feed only on such things. They have the capacity to split within the subtle aspects of the mental matrix, where you have the two poles of opposite expressions in the human mental matrix. They can split the negative thought energy and configure it into certain kind of animation and feed from those animations. So you see that those kind of beings will always want man to be embedded in the thoughts of wickedness. So they will always fight. That's the battle going on now. Every human being is involved. That's why I say you are involved.
Yes, sir.
Now the thought of love and peace, mercy, goodness, also plays a different kind of role. You understand? They also work, because of course, anyway, you have heard that even the Lord himself needs such thoughts to be able to do his good and holy works around you and in your environment, yes, in your world. There are certain angelic beings, advanced intelligences, that is also their nature of food. So you see, man, in their terms, man is just a farm. You see to that. And I think the Holy One, St. Paul wrote it in the scripture. He said, to him whom you yield yourself servant to be, to him you submit, or something, you serve. You see, so that is it. Human beings we have roles to play along this line.
Can it be said, sir, that because of, the, so to speak, wicked thoughts of our hearts, that is what is actually making UFO, they are coming into Earth. So many of them coming in at this time, unlike previous decades where maybe the sightings are not regular. But in this period, the sightings are almost on a weekly basis. You hear of one sighting, another sighting. In fact, in some cases, they tend to even go with some people.
Yes. We cannot say that the wickedness in the human heart is the basis of the arrival of multiple extraterrestrials. No, because I have said that those ones that come for human beings to see, yes, they are like the neophytes. They are like kids, like people in kindergarten. That is, they are advanced from the human point of view because they come with their equipment.
Yes, sir.
But from the point of view of advanced intelligences, they are just their children. So they intrude. Some of them are not planned, like as I've
mentioned earlier.
I've mentioned earlier. Some of them are not planned. Some of those visits are not planned. It's just like you are traveling somewhere. But maybe like you are flying. Somebody is flying from here to the United States. And that is his destination.
Yes, sir.
And maybe because of one reason or the other in the air. Maybe something things before you know the plane landed somewhere, maybe to refuel or to repair the fuel. That place he said, it didn't plan to stay there. It didn't have anything to do there. So he has to quickly adjust within the period. So that's what happens to some of them. You understand? But when we say whether they are coming, because they're coming to fight humans, the advanced ones that come that intrude to fight our world, they're not seen by the human beings. You understand? There are some of them, like as I mentioned earlier, that you see with equipment and so on, except some of them are so holy beings. Like in the days of Elijah, you see how he was carried away. Because you mentioned that some of them are abducted. Yes, people are taken. They can even take somebody, the holy ones can come, take you out of your house, and bring you back to your house. It's just a normal thing. But always have in mind that there are the disagreeables and the agreeables. And but one particular point must be made known. Human beings in our system, in our general system of existence, we have denied the existence of such reality. So some of them also play a game. That is just to make our media, our government talk about them, giving an impression that, look, you human beings, you're not the only one on earth. We are also somewhere. Some of them just have only that aim. Come around, we'll make this and that, in the inter houses, do this and that. There are different objectives for their comment. They are not one set of beings. There are units coming for different purposes. So those things must be put into consideration when discussing the subject matter of extraterrestrial existence.
Yes, sir. And some people have gone as far as just classifying all of them as demons.
Yeah, the word demon.
But
yes, the word demon.
Okay, sir. But sir, from your explanation, we can see that it's far from that.
You cannot say that all of them are demons. It depends on what you do.
Yes.
If you generalize all extraterrestrial intelligences and contact as demonic, then that runs contrary even to the spirit of the scriptures. If you read the Quran,
yes, sir,
the Holy Prophet Muhammad was a human being in flesh and blood. He came in contact with another being. He had a conversation with which the Quran named as Angel Gabriel.
Yes, sir.
And that shows you from the Islamic point of view the existence of from intelligences that are beyond physical setting. Even the Quran speak about other things like beliefs and so on and so forth. If you read the Bible, the Holy Bible, you will also see evidence of such reality. In short, as a matter of fact, if we read the book of the Bible book of Joshua, chapter 5, let me read Joshua chapter 5. I will read from verse 13 to 15. Joshua chapter 5 from verse 13 to 15. He said, "And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, Nay, but as captain of the hosts of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his feet, on his face to the earth, and did worship, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place wherein thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so. Now, if you read this place, and it came to pass when Joshua was in Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man. But in the course of that is humanoid we're talking about. In the course of his interaction with that man, he realized that this is not just one of the people living in Jericho or in Egypt or something. This is a different intelligence from a different realm of existence. He came to render assistance to them in their own way as at that time. But he was a man. Daniel also spoke of, there was even a place Daniel mentioned that the man Gabriel,
Yes, sir.
who was caused to fly swiftly. So those are on the order of advanced ones. They don't need equipment, but except occasionally, like during the case of Elijah, the equipment was brought to carry him away. And during the kind of Ezekiel, the equipment, that was a kind of a spaceship of a kind. These intelligences, they use spaceship, they use card vessels, they use a whole lot of things. And that also came. But when that intelligence came to speak to Ezekiel,
Yes, sir.
everything is recorded. Some of the things recorded.
Yes, sir.
And let me not say everything. They recorded the scriptures. You see, that's what I was trying to tell you. The words that those intelligences spoke were written as the words of the Lord. But we are telling you now that those were representations, advanced ones, who are situated to proclaim holiness and righteousness and power to stand anywhere they manifest. They have reached the level of representing the Lord fully. Because that is not the Lord himself. Jesus Christ, when he came to the earth, I repeat again, he said, no one has seen God except the first begotten who dwells in his bosom. That he has seen. If you look at those statements, you will see that those who claim to have seen God recorded in the scriptures. And when Jesus Christ said no one has seen God, it looks contradictory.
Yes, very contradictory.
It looks contradictory. But it's not contradictory ultimately. What is the Lord is saying there is like trying to educate humans to know that, look, the Lord has been sending advanced beings to speak to you on his behalf. But now, that same Lord has descended in the version of the Son to speak directly. That is just the purpose of that. This is not contradiction, you see. So I think that we will come back again. Or do you have any other?
Yes, I have one more question, sir.
Okay, just ask one more.
Just one, sir.
When we come back again, I think I like the subject matter of this extraterrestrial.
Yes, sir. Just one more question, sir. You talked about God and sons of God. Can you throw more light, sir, on the sons of God?
When I say God and the sons of God, because it's written in the scriptures, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It's written in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
What we are saying is that the sole ultimate reality, what that reality is, which is the consummate, the gestalt of the pyramid of all interrelated consciousness, can't be known. There's no reality in all the universes that can know the core identity of such ultimate, which we call God. So in other words, God has an aspect of himself that cannot be known. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Of course, you can't say that any existence or any Lord will talk about the prime basis of the beginning of the beginningless. You know, that is a mystery. God is the sole ultimate reality. And advanced intelligences have even made it known that from that point, that supreme gestalt of all interrelated consciousness, what we call God, is still in search, constantly in search of the source of his being. That remains a mystery to that dimension again. So now, that God now has a dimension of himself. Let me use the word himself for convenience sake, not in terms of gender, because he's neither male nor female, but he is both and beyond. So that dimension has manifestations of himself. Now, from that manifestation, it is like saying that God is one, but inside that one is many. Just like you, Engineer Dr. Shegun, arise, you are one.
Yes, sir.
But inside that one, which you are many. If you study yourself, you see that it's not a statement that it may be a paradox, but it's not a lie. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Have you not seen yourself in the dream doing what your physical self cannot?
Yes.
That yourself that you see, it's still valid. It's a valid portion of yourself. So you have one whole self, and inside that one whole self, there are many yous, and you that is here now is just one portion of the. So God is all that is. Certain times, and inside that one internal, there are many portions of himself. So now each of these portions of himself also go into certain kind of manifestation. So in such times, you can say the Lord was found holding or in a dimension of reality, holding meeting with the sons of God within that jurisdiction. You understand? And when you say what are the sons of God now?
Yes, sir.
The sons of God, you can say, it's just like saying, what are the sons of men? The sons of men are men, isn't it?
Yes, that's for the factor.
So the sons of God are gods.
Because, sir, I used to look at them like, when I've heard that term, I used to like, okay, maybe they are angels.
What is the meaning of the word angel? Angel just means messenger. That word angel simply means messenger. There are messengers of light, there are messengers of darkness. Even the ant you see is an angel. If a snake is coming to bite you,
Yes, sir.
and a cat sees the snake without your seeing it,
Yes, sir.
and is dispatched to go and destroy that snake, that cat has played. It's an angel. Angel does not mean, it just means messenger. You see to that. So now the sons of God are they are also God. But everything has to do with levels. You can say, how did these sons of God come into play? There are some dimensions of existence where personalities are born instead of like now. You know how our mother conceived and gave birth to us.
Yes,
we human beings, generally everywhere in the world. That process has. There are some planetary systems where personalities are born by the logos of a planet. You see to that. Even in our solar system. That's why it is futile for science to go into use any equipment to say they're searching for life, extraterrestrial life, or terrestrial or extraterrestrial life. They can't see all those things. They cannot. You see to that. Now, the equipment themselves they're using to conduct that search is gross material. And these personalities exist in the subtle dimension. You know. And some personalities, if they're using particular kind of equipment without distortion, they cannot also find us. We are also invisible to many personalities. And many personalities are invisible to us. That is how the universe is structured. So when you talk about the process of their manifestations, there is not one particular way. There are some planetary system where the core identity of a planet. You know what I mean by the core identity of a planet? If you read the Bible very, very well, you will see that there's a place it is written in the Bible that I think in the book of Revelation that there were two the two olive candlesticks. He said these are the standing before the God of the earth.
Yes.
That word God of the earth mentioned there, that personality there, that is what a representation of the core identity of a planet. Some personalities in certain planetary systems are born through that dimension. That is the logos of the ultimate hierarchy of a planet. Some more advanced intelligences in the universe. In the course of time, as we take up this subject, we can still discuss it. Yes. There's some more advanced intelligence. There are some intelligences that can just sneeze when it is time for a particular being to manifest. An intelligence can just as it sneezes, beings come into play. And some of those beings may be higher than the personality. Just like you can give birth to a child that is greater than you physically.
Yes, sir.
But the child has to respect you. But when we talk about strength and other things to be fulfilled in life is place. After all, Mary, was you not the one that gave birth to the great Lord Jesus Christ?
Yes, sir.
Are they at the same level?
No,
they're not
at all. Sir.
So, but through her womb, what is higher than her? So those things used to happen in different planetary systems. But the message of advanced intelligences in light in our time is that, look, the stage is set, that the earth is undergoing a particular kind of transformation, that everybody should imbibe the culture of love and work towards living in peace, work towards living in mercy, that is the message. Message is not to go and form a church, to go and form a religion. The advanced message coming to our planet now is for the final battle. A battle will occur in this world. Many superpower nations you see in this planet will be dismembered. Many of them. Many things will happen in this world that will surprise the people of this world. And we can call it calamity. Because there is time for everything. The stage is set. But something is going to happen on earth. Huh? It's still in the light of warning. Like a warning shot. But it's going to be a higher version. It will dwarf all the previous experiences. It will be a great calamity. Yeah, that is not the final. When that one happens, another one will happen again after that. Because there are some intelligences that have positioned themselves under the domain of the Ancient of Days by the authority, dominion, and power. If we can also say by the power, by the authority, power, and dominion of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, who himself is a plenary expansion of the Ancient of Days. There are certain forces in that dimension. You have read about the King of Kings and Lord of Lords leading the armies of heaven. Yes. There are certain forces in that dimension that are West station. They must claim this earth in light. If you read the book of Revelation chapter 19, you will see where it was said that a particular intelligence stood in the sun, which we know as a solar lord. That's a different thing. Those are those are kind of intelligences do not make their presence visible to the physical realm. That he stood on the sun and commanded the armies of, the fowls of heaven to come and feed on the flesh of the sons and daughters of men, great and small. Those things, where people read it, they think it's a joke. The stage is set for all those things to happen. It says that. And some intelligences have also vowed that even if it requires man to start life again in the desert, in order for the earth planet to be claimed in light, that they are prepared for it. The problem we have here in this world is because we are not at peace with ourselves. You can see what is going on in the Middle East now. The other man is a human being. But maybe because of a portion of land, they are killing themselves. You kill in the name of your nationality. What is your nationality? The whole world is one. But because we have not realized it, and because that is the order of the highest heaven for the earth station, then something will happen to force man to realize that, look, we are one. If I pinch your nose, whether you are African or Arab or European or Chinese or Indian, if I pinch your nose, I pinch myself. That is the dimension that man will have not realized it. So certain things will force him because he has been given a long time to realize it. Messages have come. The great Lord Jesus Christ came and shared the message. People bastardize it and they're using it in the name of religion and all that, and thinking that Jesus Christ came for a religion. Jesus Christ did not come for a religion. You see to that. So the stage is set now. The final battle of the agreeable.
Yes, sir.
Who want to salvage the earth in light, and the disagreeables who want to subjugate the earth in the attack will now occur. The final outcome will determine many aspects of subsequent human existence on Earth. I think that will be enough for now, Sheikh.
Daddy.
Okay, so you want to
have more questions, but sir, please, we definitely want to come back.
Okay, I will give the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
God bless you and bless the viewers. God bless you all. Amen.
Amen. Please, dear and lovely audience all over the world, kindly send in your questions via the comment section so that we will do justice to it in the next video. Thank you.
Maybe with their names and where the
yes,
if you want your name to be mentioned
and
the city.
Kindly indicate your names and the country and city you are sending in your comments from. Thank you once again and God bless.
Amen. Peace and blessing, Sheikh.
Peace and blessing, buddy.